Looking to get your first tattoo, but you don't know where? That's okay, because I got 6 tips for you. Roll intro. What's up, guys? It's your boy X back to you again with another video today. Today we're going to be talking about where you should get your first tattoo. There are a few things you might want to consider before you get your first tattoo, and the first thing that we're going to talk about is age, your skin density, your skin elasticity, as well as your skin's thickness. All those things play a crucial role into developing a strong tattoo for yourself. So what you want to look at with the density really depends on how old you are, because over time, as you get older, your skin will gradually age and its density will decrease, as well as its thickness and elasticity will also decrease. So the more that comes into play and the more of that you lose, the less flexibility you're going to have as far as placement is concerned, or where you can put the tattoo without things flaring up too quickly. Also, how long the artist will be able to work on your skin, as well as, potentially prolonged healing depending on where you're getting your tattoo. I say if you're anywhere in the ages of, 18 to early 40s, you probably don't have to worry about that at all. It's after you reach that, mid 40s, early 50s, that's when your skin's density starts to decrease. I'd probably say, I wouldn't say exponentially, but just like probably at a faster rate, because you're starting to get into your middle age bracket at that point. So that being said, as long as you're in the younger age range, you really don't have to worry about your age coming into a factor as far as physically speaking. As far as occupationally speaking, your age still plays a factor here. So that leads into our next thing that we're going to talk about, which is occupational choices. Either your current occupational choice or your future occupational choice. That definitely should play a factor in where you get your first tattoo. I know, being discriminated against because of how you look and the things that you want on your body is shitty, yes. But it's the world that we live in, and if you don't have one of those jobs where your employer is probably more open-minded, or you have the freedom to do what you want because you work remotely, or your skills that you provide are invaluable to the company, you're an indispensable kind of person that you can pretty much get away with whatever you want because of the value that you bring to your company. If you're not one of those people, and their place of business has like requirements on how they want their employees to look, then getting a tattoo on a high profile area is probably not the best thing for you. So nothing on your hands, nothing on your neck, nothing on your face, maybe even outer arms, outer forearms, things that people are going to see on an everyday basis. You might want to think about where you're putting it, and maybe put it somewhere a little bit less conspicuous. So good places for a person that has to deal with like corporate America, so to speak, and hide their tattoos, I would say is your inner bicep, shoulder, if you always have a sleeve covering your shoulder, anything in your central nervous system, torso area is good. So chest, stomach, ribs, back, all that is fair game. Anything in the private area, side butt cheek, thigh area, front thigh, hip bone area, thighs, hamstrings, all those things should be good because they should be covered with the pants. When you start getting down towards like the feet and the ankles, for the ladies, I know a lot of you like to wear open-toed shoes, so that might be something you might want to avoid. So that's probably my advice on that. As far as the next thing we're going to talk about that comes into plays when you're looking for your first tattoo is your personal pain tolerance level. If you're a person that has a high pain tolerance and you feel like you can take on the world, then by all means get a tattoo wherever you want. But for those that have a lower pain tolerance, you need to understand that, the tattoo pain spectrum varies from place to place depending on where you get your tattoo. So, the pain that you'd feel on your shoulder is not the same pain that you're going to feel on your rib cage. General rule to go by as far as tattoo pain is concerned is if it's tickles, if it's a sensitive area, or if it's very bony, it's likely that area is going to be very painful. So, i.e. ribs, armpit, ditch of the knee, ditch of the elbow, elbows itself, necks, hands, feet, all those places are high profile pain areas that are going to hurt like hell. Easy places would be, the outer arm, the outer thigh. Those are probably the two easiest places to get your tattoo, your first tattoo. The next thing we want to talk about when discussing, where you should get your first tattoo is your own personal UV exposure levels. So how often are you in the sun? Do you have a job like construction where you're going to be out there all the time? These things play a factor in how your tattoos are going to look and age over time. Because as we know, the UV rays, the UV exposure can break down the pigment particles that are in the tattoo, in your skin, and will cause the tattoo to fade and age over time. And colors age at different rates. So if you're getting a color tattoo, you could have parts of the tattoo that are getting beaten by the sun regularly and fall out quicker than others. If you're getting a black and gray tattoo, they tend to age at a more consistent rate. So that comes into play. If you're a person that's not getting a lot of sun, then by all means get tattooed wherever you want. If you're a person that's out in the sun a lot, you have a job that requires you to be outside, maybe you want to put that tattoo in a less conspicuous place to give it a little extra protection from the UV rays. Or you're going to just have to be super diligent about applying a high SPF sunblock, like at least 45 to 50 SPF to try and protect your tattoo. But even so, you're putting it at risk. You're putting it to exposure to UV rays. So the next thing that we want to consider, and probably the most important thing to consider when getting your first tattoo, is just your overall, the aesthetics that you're going for, how you want it to look on your body, the composition. The look that you're going for is probably the single most important thing that you should consider when getting your first tattoo. So make sure you do a lot of research, get some reference photos, see if you can get the artist to give you like a mock-up, photoshopped image of the design on your body so you can kind of see how things are gonna flow. Let's see. Also, you want to think about the future as well. I know it's your first tattoo, and some people might be like, oh, this is just going to be a one and done thing. But, the nature of the business, the nature of the industry is that, tattoo ideas come sporadically throughout your lifetime. And you might decide one day, oh, I want another one. So, in that case, what we like to recommend is just, not taking up what we call prime real estate with, tiny tattoos. If you're going to get a tiny tattoo, it should be reserved to an area where that's more suited towards a small tattoo. If you're getting a tiny tattoo, you should probably confine it more towards the wrist, the ankles, the back of the neck. Let the piece fit the area of the body. You don't want to put like a super tiny tattoo in the middle of your arm right here, and then a year later you realize you want to start a half sleeve, but now you have to get your artist to try and work around this tiny piece that you had, when you could have just blasted the whole shoulder, and now you can transition easily into the next piece down the arm. So that's important. Future-proof your arm or leg or whatever appendage that you're working on. Make sure you're getting the right tattoo at the right size for that body part, so you don't have to worry about what's going to come next. You want to leave room for organic growth for your tattoo to take shape on its own and to become whatever it's going to become, whatever its final form is going to become. So that's pretty much, I know I just kind of mouth rambled super fast. I hope you guys found this helpful. If you did, leave a like, drop a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for future content from me. So yeah, see you in the next one. I'm out of here.